One Wonka with scrumptious fudge mellow delight, please.
I know they've been developing the project for some time.
It's a golden ticket.
There's lots of other drafts trying different things. Like, the father doesn't really do anything. Maybe we should get rid of the father because Willy Wonka is like a father figure. And I go, well, Willy Wonka is not a father, you know.
Mr. Wonka, I'm Violet Beauregard.
I don't care.
I certainly wouldn't want him as a father figure, and that's not really the point of him as a character.
Here, try some of this, it'll do you good. You look starved to death.
They were always trying to make Charlie special in some way, and the whole point of him as a character is that he's not special. He's like 90% of us kids in school that nobody ever noticed. We just decided, when I got involved with it, just to kind of go back to the basics and try to be as true to the book as we could be.
How is it, honey? It's amazing. Tomato soup. I can feel it running down my throat.
Yeah, spit it out.
Ra's works are extremely subversive, and there is a darkness in some of them.
Daddy!
Where are they taking her?
Where all the other bad nuts go, to the garbage chute.
Where does the chute go?
To the incinerator.
And the perverse kind of twists in the thing, you know, you think it's going one direction and then it, you know, slams you with another route.
You just press any button, and whoosh, you're off.
He was, to me, one of the first writers who captured the mixture of light and dark and humorous and being politically incorrect and, you know, all those things that you kind of love as a child and as an adult.
Wasn't that just magnificent?
I think there's more than just a children's book. I think it has deeper emotional implications.
Nothing's impossible, Charlie.
A lot of what Raoul says about children and his perspective on life are things that I've heard Tim say, bizarrely.
You say Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Tim Burton, and it's a natural match.
If you look at much of Tim's work, there's a childlike quality to quite a bit of it, you know, and he brings this whimsy to it.
What's great about Tim is he can draw, so a lot of stuff he would draw himself. The script describes, like, really, you know, he had terrible braces and terrible orthodontic headgear. But then when you see Tim's drawing of that, you know exactly how that's going to feel on screen.
Little Willy Wonka.
The character of Willy Wonka, I mean, he's an eccentric, this, that, but you can kind of make up your own mind about him.
Do you even remember what it was like being a kid?
Oh boy, do I.
When I sat down to talk with Johnny about the character, and as we were looking through, like, the last few sort of dialogue changes, what I loved so much is that he pulled out his Roald Dahl book and wanted to go through and, like, add in a few extra lines that were from Dahl's original book.
If television can break up a photograph into millions and millions of tiny little pieces and send it whizzing through the air, then reassemble it on the other end, why can't I do the same thing with chocolate?
That was important to Johnny and I, was to just be as true to the book as possible. Even with the things that we added, we always tried to at least channel the spirit of Roald Dahl.
In the book, it's explained that he wants an heir, but sort of why does he want an heir? What is the motivation for him to suddenly open up his factory and get all these kids in there?
Why did you decide to let people in?
Well, so they could see the factory, of course.
But why now? And why only 5?
So we spent a lot more time on who Willy Wonka is, how he got to be this candy magnet, and sort of why he shut his factory doors for 20 years.
But I used to work here in the factory.
Were you one of those despicable spies who every day tried to steal my life's work and sell it to those parasitic copycat candy-making cads?
No, sir.
And wonderful. Welcome back.
If you read about certain creative people who are kind of geniuses in their world, they have deficiencies in other areas. I mean, he's somebody who lives with a bunch of Oompa Loompas, and, you know, that's bound to make anybody a little strange.
You're very good.
Script-wise, the biggest change that we made from original book to our movie is sort of continuing the story on a little bit more at the end. As an audience, we sort of know that Charlie's going to persevere and that he's going to get the factory, but we need to add a little extra complication to that.
Are you ready to leave all this behind and come live with me at the factory?
I mean, it's all right if my family come too.
Oh, my dear boy, of course they can't.
All books have to be changed for making a film, and these certainly enhance the book.
All these years, and you haven't flossed.
Not once.
It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it's also Tim Burton's vision of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know, it takes place within sort of the universe of his movies.
It's fun to watch Tim take that book and turn it into this visual and emotional feast.
It's hard to say where Raoul ends and Tim begins. It's a happy blending.
The story of Wonka, he was a genius in the invention of chocolates. And I think Tim Burton has those qualities in himself.